Gang. Got a haircut since you last seen me. Well, I cut my own hair, so I kind of fucked it up. Luckily, I'm a punk rocker, not a perfectionist. But, okay, so recently I got a package of dip and chewing tobacco and some cool other stuff from my dear, wonderful friend Hillary. And I know I've talked about this dip a lot, but I'm going to talk about it more because it's fucked up. It's the granddaddy of all dips. It's the original dip that you can get, and it's one of my favorites. I would say it's one of my childhood favorites back when we started chewing tobacco when we were kids. I used to try back when I was a kid, man. I've told the story many times about my friend's dad and how we used to just rip his snuff off him. He did dip and he did nasal snuff, and he was a smokeless tobacco aficionado. I think he smoked a pipe too. When I spent a lot of time in Kentucky and stuff when I was a kid, right? And the tobaccos that you can get in the States are it was easier to get as a kid, and it was much more variety. So that was where I first bought loose cigarette tobacco and started rolling my own cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I used to buy that twist tobacco that you just bite a chunk off of. It looks like a fucking goat poop or something. I don't know. It's not bad. We used to get like plug. I remember there's one kind of plug called Day's Work, and we used to get that a lot. Just because it was small and easy to fit in your pocket. I didn't tell my mom I was chewing or smoking. But we used to get all kinds of shit. And but this was also before the fucking Skittles rainbow of Skulls came out, right? The dips were limited to basically Skull wintergreen, Copenhagen snuff, and there was like some other ones, but those were the ones that I was familiar with because those were the ones that we used to rip from my friend's dad. So Hillary sent me both a can of Copenhagen snuff. Now, if you notice, it's the Patriot can. They do a little Patriot. All the snuff cans seem to do a Patriot thing every year. At least Grizzly and Copenhagen do. Do like a camouflage thing or some, the Grizzly cans. I'm not a patriot, and I'm certainly not an American patriot because I don't live in America. But the Grizzly cans look fucking spectacular. They're just aesthetically beautiful. And Copenhagen usually does a pretty good job with the camo cans, but this year they're very subdued. Like it's very subtle, but you can see the stars and bars kind of in the background there. Usually this is an all silver lid. This is the American Copenhagen snuff. I was trying to find empty can of the Canadian Copenhagen snuff just to show you the can differences, but all I could find, I know I have a shit ton of them, but I have quite a extensive collection of dip cans. But I did find a can of long cut, so I'll show you some differences. Like this is the Copenhagen long cut can. This is the standard. There's no Patriot can on this, but it's beautiful. Like it's got the fiberboard, and there's a lot to be said for that, I gotta say. It's just a beautiful snuff can. If you took off that warning label, like this would be a classy fucking tobacco can. Now, this is a Copenhagen long cut can from Canada. If you notice, it's got 50% fucking bullshit around the sides, telling you how what's going to make your dick fall off, all that. Lots of French warning labels, duty stickers, a price tag. This is bought at a cheaper store, $21.99. That with tax, that's about $26. So yeah, that's a Copenhagen long cut Canadian can. So there's no raised lettering. There's nothing fucking. I mean, it's not a bad looking can, but I mean, this is probably the nicest looking Canadian snuff can you can get, but it's not an American style, But anyhow, the dip doesn't really taste much different, but the fiberboard can just adds a level of fucking something to it, It makes it easier to pinch, that's for sure, because it's got like a wax on the sides, and this is like Copenhagen snuff is hard to pinch, So if we take, you can see how fine that is, right? Yeah, but that's what you get in the can. And that just the fiberboard makes it look so much fucking more appealing to me. This is a can I'm going to keep at home and, enjoy it. I'm not going to carry it around my pocket. But yeah, let's get a dip here. I should pack this first. Pinch and fine cut and snuff. It's a different process than doing the long cut. The best way to pack a snuff can is to do the side pack, where you kind of grab it like that, and that's what works best for me. And you don't need to fucking sit there and whack it for half an hour. It just takes a couple knocks. And that's what you get. You know what I mean? So you just go in and you grab a pinch and you push it up against the side. You kind of wiggle it a bit. Get a lip. You usually got to go back at least twice. Oh my God, this tastes so good. Goodness me. But yeah, I had to get that situated there. So Copenhagen snuff, it's like the original smokeless tobacco in dip form from America. If you see 1822, I don't think there was much that came before that. People were using dry snuff. And some people dip dry snuff. I actually know the technique for dipping dry snuff. It's kind of weird. But it's not, and I don't have enough dry snuff to do it, but maybe if I had a lot of it, or a nice, it's not something you'd want to do with a mentholated snuff. It'd be more for the American snuff rather than the European snuffs. But anyhow, I'm getting off track. Copenhagen snuff tastes fucking delicious. If you like tobacco, you will like this. It's a bold, robust tobacco taste. It's salty. There's nothing wrong I could say about this dip. It's fucking ass kicking in nicotine. It just tastes great. Every time I have a lip of fucking Copenhagen snuff, it makes me glad to be a dipper. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is the can. Nice fiberboard bottom. The cell, it's got my eyes are really bad. November 11th, 2018, so it's still nice and fresh. But yeah, it's pretty boss. I subscribed to a couple channels today. I subscribed to East Tennessee Dippers, I think they're called. They rock the brass like I do. Get that fucking old school pang, you know. And yeah, it's actually been quite a week of networking here on the YouTubes, you know. Discovering new channels and having a bunch of new subscribers. That's pretty great. So thanks a lot. I'm trying to think who else to mention. Golly. Suit and Tie Dip and Chew Guy has a constant stream of really excellent snuff reviews, dip reviews. You know, I do dip reviews here, but I'm kind of half-assed about it, really. I just like dipping and talking, yakking at my cell phone. But that's about the size of it. But yes. So I haven't been posting a lot of music lately. A lot of like banjo picking or guitar playing or songwriting or whatever. I'm dealing with some issues right now. And so I'm kind of, things are making me slow down a bit. Just due to real life stuff that's going on in my life. So I got to get some issues sorted out. Hopefully, within 2 weeks, I'll be feeling good again. I don't know. I can't really talk about much, but about what's going on. But there's a variety of things going on. There's at least 3 major things in my life that are taking up a lot of my energy and time right now. So, but I still try to get something up every day, and I still got a dip, so I can at least do these fucking vlogs. And nobody watches my fucking videos anyway, so it's all good. But yeah, Copenhagen snuff, baby. If you're a dipper and you haven't tried Copenhagen snuff, you gotta try it. You gotta get some. It's such a different experience, you know, like, okay, like dip, like fine cut. Like that's what you get in a pinch of fine cut. You know what I mean? Snuff. Now you take this is one of my other favorite brands. This is probably my favorite brand. Stoker's. Long cut. Mint. And I mean, pack this can. And just reach in and pull out a fucking wad like that. You know what I mean? That's like that's like fucking third of the can. Dropping dip everywhere. So yeah. There's a million kinds of dip out there. I always say try them all. Try as many as you can if you're a dipper. Don't bandwagon. Don't just because somebody says something isn't cool doesn't mean that you're not going to like it. You know, Skull Citrus. I love Skull Citrus. You know, Skull Berry. I like Skull Berry, Skull Cherry, Skull Apple, Skull Peach, all that shit. I love it. But I also fucking love this stuff. So I'm an equal opportunity dipper. And I suggest that if you're starting out dipping, not that I'm advocating starting dipping, but if you're going to start dipping, once you try a few things, you know, you should try as much as you can. And definitely try this stuff. All right. Be well. Stay free. Have a great fucking Friday. And I'll see you around.